Hi. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what do you do when you've negotiated a contract and it all goes wrong. So, first thing is, let's go right back to the beginning. Why did we want to enter into this contract, and what were our conditions for it? So, at TPG, when we're doing a new contract, what we look at is, well, what are we trying to achieve? What's the ideal outcome? It might be utopian, it might not be possible, but what is that ideal outcome? So that's the first thing we do, and contemporaneously with that, at the same time, we are calling out the supplier, and we're saying to the supplier, "This is not right. What you're doing is wrong. It's not the spirit of what we agreed. So stop messing around. Let's sit down and let's talk and understand what the problems are." These issues with contracts can happen. They are intensely frustrating when they do, but they can happen. And what we look to do with our clients is make sure that the pain is as limited as possible, and that we are taking a really constructive part in actually resolving the issue. So with the supplier, you call it out. You will escalate it. Over time, you'll go as high as you need to within their organisation, up to the CEO. Could be they've got some rogue salespeople who structured a deal that wasn't approved properly or whatever. And generally, my experience is that the higher you go in an organisation, the more credible people are, the more honourable people are, and the better that they'll behave. It's sometimes hard to get hold of them, but that's generally it. There's very few organisations that I've dealt with which are rotten from the core. Once you get to the core, you find out what their true values are. So we need to understand what's happened. First up, though, we hold to conditions. If there's been signed conditions, let's stick with those. Then we understand what went wrong. What's happened here? What has caused this problem? And we then need to understand, can it be corrected? Is there a will on both sides to correct the situation? What are the good things which, which have come out of this? Because you'd like to think that if you had a wish list of 10 items to be met when you went into a new contract, that you'd be in a situation, we'd be in a situation where at least some of them have been hit. It might be that a key one hasn't, or key two haven't, but at least some of them have been hit. So let's understand what's been hit, what hasn't been hit, and for the ones that haven't been hit, what can we do to get those moving forward? We would not fall into the trap of saying, "Oh, well, let's leave it till the next review." No, this is important. We need to deal with this now. And I'm talking here about really fundamental breaches, or where there's a clear lack of alignment between what your requirements are and what the supplier thinks your requirements are. Then it's important to agree a route forward. Now, that route forward could be together, it could be apart. Who knows? It depends on the situation and the circumstances. Is it a pricing issue? Is it a service issue? Is it a product quality issue? Is it something else? Is it that the sales guy is just incompetent? It could be anything. And we need to agree a route forward, though, either together or apart. And then if it's apart, there needs to be compensation for the client. In our situation, when we've negotiated a contract, when we've invested in getting that contract right, then a supplier messes around. It's just not. It's not right, and obviously we'd never deal with them again. We have no interest in dealing with them again if they make life difficult and behave in that way. So I think the important thing is just to reflect and go back. Right, okay, so when we started this exercise, what were we trying to achieve? Let's go back to the papers we produced then. What were the key items that we wanted, our deliverables from this project? What have we delivered and what have we not delivered? Right, what's not delivered? Let's go through those. Can the supplier deliver them? They obviously told us they could, otherwise we'd never have entered into a contract with them. But if they're not now delivering on them, why is that? And what's the problem? What's causing that? And what can we do as a team together, collaboratively, the client, the supplier, and TPG to build that together and make it happen going forward, if it's possible to. So that's how we work. That's what we would suggest that our clients do, and you might like to do, because it is a far better way of moving forward than having hostile discussions. But fundamentally, at the end of the day, if someone's entered into an agreement, then we would expect them to honour it. That's what we do. We stand behind our agreements. If we make a mistake, we'll compensate people for that, and we look for any supplier to behave in the same way. It's just the right way to behave. It's as simple as that, really. And honesty, integrity. You can't. You don't go to business school to learn those. Those are things which are in your core, and they are in our core. And we expect our suppliers to behave in a similar way. I think it's fair to say with our clients. All of our clients share our values, and that's one of the reasons we love working with the client base that we have. And as far as the suppliers are concerned, we can't control them, but it is important to do what you say you're going to do, and when you say you're going to do it, and how you say you're going to do it. And we expect people to be held accountable for that. So I hope that's helpful. It shouldn't be complicated. It should be, well, hang on a minute, we agreed this, so what's the problem? Okay, well, that's your problem or our problem, and then working it out from there, and giving everyone a way out. But there are consequences for that, and sometimes those consequences are financial and material. So I'll leave that with you. Have a great week ahead, and I'll be back next week with some more snippets. Thank you. Bye.